สมาชิกคณะปันสงเครื่องเชียนปรัชญาปฏิบัติสามัคคีกลุ่มนันเนียสังคมของเรากาเปียกัมพูชีมาตรงรบเนียเพียมเพียสันเสรีไอ้กระเรียนโบราณเพียมอาคัมปไตยขมายประเสริฐโดประดันไทยรักษามันอ้อยบ่ตึงเชียนเปลี่ยนหมกตรวจตาสมบัติโดนตาทนเทียนจิตขมาย
จุมริบซูWelcome and thank you for joining our show today. This is Khmer Youth Voices for Justice. It is part of the CNRPA America live TV show. My name is Linda Wu. Today is Tuesday, February 9, 2021. Again, welcome. Please join me to support ending impunity for justice in Cambodia. Together, we fight to end impunity. Together, we hold Hun Sen responsible for killing and never find any perpetrator responsible for the victims. Please help to sign our petitions at change.org, ending impunity for justice in Cambodia. Please help to sign our petitions. Also, please help to support and share our petitions. Please watch a little video clip of ending impunity for justice in Cambodia. It is by Her Excellency Musakur.
ตายุติธรรมหรือนิตนภิบ
Between 1975 and 1979, the green rice fields of Cambodia became the killing fields of Cambodia. Over 2 million lives were lost, including the lives of my own parents and many of my relatives. The Khmer Rouge wanted a society that is equal according to them. We still live and we are haunted with the legacy of the Khmer Rouge, which is the culture of impunity that continues to exist in Cambodia today. It is for this reason that we have started a campaign, worldwide campaign, a campaign to end impunity in Cambodia by seeking justice for cases, for the executions, for the killings that are organized, that are backed by the state. Among those cases of state-backed killings are the killings of Chivichir, a very famous trade union leader, Bisep Pilaka, a ballet dancer, of Kemley, an independent analyst, of Chutvuti, a well-known environmentalist, of Venerable Sun Bunthun, who was advocating for the monks to have the right to vote, including workers who demanded fair wages. The campaign will also advocate for governments that are members of the United Nations to put pressure on the government of Cambodia to conduct independent investigations, independent investigations by using universal tools such as the UN Protocol for Independent Investigation. The campaign will also advocate for governments that believe and want to protect universal human rights to impose sanctions on the leaders of the government of Cambodia who are implicated in these state-backed extrajudicial killings. We ask you to be with us, to support us, to be part of a campaign to end the culture of impunity in Cambodia and to find justice for those who have been waiting for justice for their loved ones killed by the state. There cannot be real peace unless there is justice. There cannot be justice unless there is independent investigation. And then take those cases to an independent justice system. Join us by signing on this petition. Thank you.
យើងរួមគ្នាបញ្ចប់នីតិរដ្ឋភាពដើម្បីយុត្តិធម៌នៅកម្ពុជា
Welcome back. Please help to support our petitions ending impunity for justice in Cambodia at change.org. I just recently checked like a couple minutes ago. We only have 56,000 signatures. So your support and to sign and to share is really important. We are looking to have at least 500,000 signatures. And so far we only have 56,000. So please help to sign petitions and also help to share. We would like to please help to sign and share. Welcome, and today is Tuesday, February 9. Our topic today is basically our topic today are 3 types of vaccine recognized by WHO, which is World Health Organizations. And our second topic would be what secret did Hun Sen reveal about the Chinese vaccine. I have 3 beautiful ladies as my guests today. I would like to bring each of them out today. So first let me meet Miss Sorina Sok. Hello, Sorina.
Hello.
How are you?
I am good. Thank you for having me on this show.
Let me introduce you a little bit to introduce you to our audience. Sorina is a General Secretary of Ohio. She also is an advisor of CNRPA Women Affairs. Welcome, Sorina. Can you let our audience know or introduce yourself a little bit?
Well, you already introduced a little bit about myself already. So I am just here to speak out against the injustice in Cambodia and promoting democracy for the people of Cambodia. That's my main reason to be on the show tonight.
Thank you for being here today. Our second guest, her name is Pauline Sam. She is the General Secretary of CNRP and CNRPO, AMO, and she's of the Women Affairs. ជំរាបសួរអ្នកមីង
ជំរាបសួរ So my name is Pauline, and I am, like Linda said, a General Secretary for the Cambodia National Rescue Party, the Women Affair. And I also reiterate Sorina's saying I like to advocate for democracy, peace, and justice. And I'm happy to be here with you. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for being here today. And our third guest, her name is Sita Arunson. She is the CNRPA supporter. ជំរាបសួរបង
ជំរាបសួរទាំងអស់គ្នា
How are you?
I'm good.
Can you introduce yourself a little bit to our audience?
Yeah, sure. My name is Sita Arunson, and I live in California. I'm a CNRP supporter, has been for a while, and just like the other guests said, I'm here for the reason that we are supporting and wanting democracy for Cambodia, for Cambodian people in Cambodia. So that's why we are here talking about that today.
Thank you for being here, Bong. Okay,
Thank you for having me.
Let me add all my guests back in. Okay, we have a full house today. Thank you for being here, ladies. Okay, our topic is going to be involve COVID-19 vaccine. Have any of you taken the vaccine yet?
I have both of them.
Both of them?
Yeah.
Can you share your experience?
So I got my first dose December 23rd. There was no, I got my Pfizer BioNTech, and because I'm the frontline healthcare worker, and I didn't have any side effects for the first one. The second one, 3 weeks later, there was some a little bit of dizziness and tiredness, and that's it though. No major side effect at all.
Okay. How about Bong?
I had mine too. I had the 2 doses as well. The second one, I had it last week. No symptom yet. Hopefully none coming my way. But the first one, I had a little bit of headache for last about a week, but not too bad, and a few rash here and there, but nothing serious. So I rather take that than the full-blown virus.
Yeah. Which type did you get? Which one, Moderna or
Pfizer as well?
Okay.
Yes, my parents just got their first dose this morning. They seem to be doing okay. After the first dose, they were there for 15 minutes, so that way the healthcare can basically make sure they're okay. And as of before the show, since we're talking about vaccine, I was asking them how they feeling. They said okay. I said okay because I saw on the news, or not on the news. Basically, I saw like maybe Instagram or Facebook posts where people said they got the shot and they would rather have the virus. I said okay. It doesn't sound confident, but I don't see anything on the news talking about like the side effect or how many people are like affected by it. But a lot of like one-on-one person that I know, people that I know, it's a positive outcome. Like you two have got both of your shot and everything is fine. Bong, Sorina, you haven't had your shot yet. Would you consider taking the shot?
I don't know yet, because even me taking the flu shot, I get sick for about a month. So I'm very sensitive, and even hydrocodone will make me dizzy, and I cannot take it. So I'm going to wait for a little while and see how everyone is doing, unless I have to take it. Because with my allergic reaction, I don't know how that's going to impact my body.
True.
Yeah, I have not taken the vaccine yet. I'm under 65, so, and I'm not a healthcare worker, so it's going to be a while, probably maybe during the summer. June might be my turn, but as of now, personally, if they offer to me, I will take them. I feel very confident that I will be okay. I always have my flu shot every year, and I seem to be okay, have no reactions, no, so I should be okay. So if my time comes to get the vaccine, I will take the vaccine.
Yeah, because my son's school, all the teachers in our district has the first vaccine shot already on February 4th and 5th. So their second dose is February 25th and 26th of all the school teachers that in that district.
Do you hear any side effect from the teacher or the education or healthcare worker that have side effect on the vaccine?
I haven't heard anything dramatic or anything serious. Each person is different, so it depends on your immune system.
Yes, she's on healthcare, so she probably more familiar with a lot of people. Have you heard anything?
Well, to reiterate what Sorina was talking about, yeah, our body is really, really different. So we respond to it a little differently. Like you have some allergic reaction, and before you're taking the vaccine, they give you questionnaire and they give you form, explain to you the risks and the benefits. Of course, you know, you can opt out and no penalty at work or anything like that. But if you do questionnaire and the doctor will, or the nurse will review it, you know, and they said, okay, you're not allergic to this, you're not allergic to that, and you know, like eggs and stuff like that. So you take it, and some of the coworkers that I worked with, some of their side effects include, you know, like dizziness, headache, extreme fatigue, GI problem, which is nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, but nothing more than that. And sometimes for the second dose, especially, so they may take a day or two off from work because of really tired, but nothing major like you report, you hear that, oh, so-and-so, you know, got COVID after getting a vaccine. That's not true. You know, you might have had it before, and even after you have COVID, you still get the injection. You can still have the vaccine to prevent, because you can get reinfected.
Exactly. So. Thank you for sharing that, Ming. Let me introduce the topic a little bit. The reason we're talking about vaccine today, or COVID-19 vaccine today, because on Sunday, 2 days ago, Cambodia received its first vaccine. Basically, they received 600,000 doses from Cambodia friend, which is China. I mean, I was going to say our friend, but it's not my friend. So it's Cambodia Hun Sen regime friend. So let me read a little bit. First batches of 600,000 doses, and the vaccine name is Sinopharm vaccine, arrived in Cambodia on Sunday. So it's divided as follows: 300,000 doses being given to the Ministry of Defense, and 300,000 doses going to the Ministry of Health. The 300 doses to the Ministry of Defense is going to the armed forces, dignitary, senior ministers, governors, secretary, and undersecretary of state. Another 300,000 doses for the health ministry, which is for health officials, which is like doctor and nurses, and journalists. Starting today, on Wednesday morning in Cambodia right now it's at 9:30. There are 4 locations in the capital that giving vaccine. Let me read them in case. Calamite Hospital will be for dignitary, senior ministers, secretary of state. Ang Dung Hospital will be for dignitaries such as undersecretary of state, and another one is Khmer Soviet Friendship Hospital. It's also will giving to dignitaries as well as captain, or basically it's province governor. And the another location, the 4th location, is National Pediatric Hospital, and that is going to be for journalists. So far, the 600,000 doses is basically look like it's not for the general public. It's for the basically military. I mean, for military, but it's not for like a normal general population that want to take vaccine. On that topic, have you heard the name Sinopharm? Have any of you heard that name of vaccine before?
I haven't.
Start with Nabong Sorina.
I have not until today, actually today, that I did a little research because of China. The vaccine has developed in Beijing, China. So this is my first time hearing about it. The only 3 that I heard about is the Pfizer, Moderna, and AstraZeneca. And then the 4th one is Johnson & Johnson that they are now developing. So those are the 4 that I've known of. And this is because of China. The World Health Organization has not acknowledged or approve the use of the vaccine yet.
Now, Pauline, would you like to let us know, have you heard of that name, which is Sinopharm?
Yes, I
Sinopharm.
have. Yeah. So, altogether, there's I did a little bit of research. So there's more than 50 pharmaceutical company right now. There are more than 50 vaccines right now competing to be accepted. But Sinopharm and Sinovac are two that are produced by China. And Sinovac has been accepted a lot more by different country, especially the underdeveloped country. But Sinopharm has just come out, and it's like Sorina said, it's coming out of China, and so it's giving to again underdeveloped country, and it's still going through clinical trial. So with any pharmaceutical company or any research involving human subject, they have to go through the IRB, Internal Review Board. And so they have to have enough people to get the injection and to see if there's any, reaction going on. And so, but these people, I don't know if Khmer people are being explained that they are participating in the clinical trial. Okay. I'm not going to say anything like negative about it, but I'm saying that if you are going to get the injection, you make sure you're giving them the injection, the vaccine. You make sure the population are explained, or that they understand that this medication or this vaccine are still going through clinical trial. You can't just say, oh, take it, and they don't explain the risk and the benefit, because there are risks and benefit. That's why it's going to clinical trial and hasn't been accepted yet. So I've heard of it, but it hasn't been accepted yet by the CDC or the WHO.
Thank you. How about Bong Sita? Have you heard of the vaccine before?
No, until recently, when I have to do research for this show. From the research, what I found is that Sinopharm is 78% effective versus Pfizer and Moderna 95%, something like that, right?
Yes. Yeah,
90% or higher, right, Bong Pauline?
Yeah. Oh yeah, 93 and up, yeah.
Yeah, but Sinopharm, from many different reports. I got a report from ABC and also BBC News. It showed that it's only 78% effective. And another thing I want to mention is Sinopharm is backed by Chinese government. It's not an independent pharmaceutical company, or that's doing this. It's backed by the Chinese government. And since we're on this topic, I also want to, because it is going to Cambodia, and Cambodia are lining up, the big people at least lining up to get the vaccine. Now, from the report, I might be off topic a little bit, but I'm just rolling into from the research, it's said that Cambodia only had close to 500 being affected by the virus, who got the virus, but no death report. Now, whether that's report is being skewed or not, it's whether they hide the information or not, but it seems very low. And plus, why rush to get the vaccine when it's not, like Bong Pauline said, it's still in the trial, the last phase of the trial. They got the emergency approval and all that stuff. And I also remember from the research that it's their pool of people that they went through trial were way less than the Pfizer or Moderna. Within very small number compared to the American vaccine. So that's the concern that I have for that. So one is, why would Cambodia people rush to get it when there's no death? And the affected people is very few affected from the virus. And two, it's the effectiveness of the vaccine is very low. So, yeah.
Yes, and you are not off topic at all. It is correct. Under 500 people, basically 500 Cambodian infected with COVID-19. When you're talking about 500 people, my town have more than 500 people. That's just my town alone. But this is the whole Cambodia population of 16, 17 million people, and it's only under 500 people. And why we rushed? I don't know. So the other thing that concerned me about Sinopharm is it's not about the percentage of effectiveness. It's the hush hush about it. They're not providing the report. They're not being open about it. They're very secret about this vaccine. So that's another concern. And when it's come from a communist and it's very quiet, it's not good.
Yeah, if I may add to what Sita is saying, if you don't mind. And, she said, and I agree, it's approved for emergency use. Emergency defined as if you have a lot of people in your town, in your community who are like highly, infected, and a lot of people walking around. And that's, it warrants the emergency, quote unquote. But 500 people, and no deaths reported. Why emergency? Why rush? Why? If you tell me the truth, like you said, Linda, there's some hush hush. The hush hush is that, are we being used as the guinea pigs? Probably.
No.
But my other thoughts about that, well, they giving to the government people. They're not giving to the general people. Like over here, they give to the healthcare worker, the elderly first, and then, but over there they're giving it to the general people. Maybe they'll be the Chinese government guinea pig.
And it's not an option. Yeah.
I wanted to add the Sinopharm is more so of, it's less expensive. It's still under phase 3 trial. And with what we know, it's only 79% effective. So it's being used mostly with low or middle class income countries that cannot afford the higher Moderna, the Pfizer. So the cost is in half, and we don't know what the impact is of, is it paying less? Are you getting the quality of care that you are getting from, something like Moderna, Pfizer, that it's approved and that they have to go through extensive organizations and trying to, testing of this. Sinopharm is only used roughly about they've been tested only about 30,000 people. That's it. So are we, like Mom Pauline is saying, that are we the guinea pig of China? And it felt like that personally for me, my opinion, that we're testing this on our people, because the issue is that now the WHO has not been, they haven't approved to full blown to have this vaccine to distribute it. But you have other countries like, Turkey, is it Turkey? Is one of them. So approximately about 40 countries so far that have been purchasing Sinopharm with its vaccine. So say Indonesia announced its rate of effectiveness is only 65.3% efficiency. And then while Brazil is their rate of success is 78%. And for some reason, vaccine recorded at a high of 91.2 rate of efficiency in Turkey, but only 86 in United Arab. So
yeah, and
it's so fluctuated. And with what China is saying that the vaccine is about 79% effective. So with the conclusion that we're seeing, the data that has has brought to our attention, it's like this. It's like a roller coaster. There's no like consistency. Like with the Moderna, it's like Pfizer, it's 95% effective. Moderna is 94.1%. AstraZeneca is 70%. Johnson is about 66%. So you got the two major, Pfizer and Moderna, that at least over more than 90% that is effective. That if you're gonna want a shot, which vaccine would you want to choose to get this shot?
And if I believe the word they use is emergency for Cambodia, but at the same time, like all you saying, how can it be emergency? No, only like under 500 people that infected with COVID-19 and they all recover. So there is no emergency, and so there's no need to be taking the vaccine today. Now let me ask you a tough question. I know Miss Pauline already have her shot. Miss Sita already have her shot. Bong Sorina haven't had the shot, and I haven't had a shot. Would you guys take a shot if you guys were in Cambodia right now?
I would not.
Not Sinopharm, because I'm very careful about what I put into my body. So the elephant in the room here is that we advocate and we accepted the Sinopharm vaccine from China. Why is it not our PM, the Prime Minister, Hun Sen? Why is he not getting it? Because the secret here, we say, is that he said, there's an age limitation of not getting it because he's 68 or 65. I looked of all the vaccines, Sinopharm, the age, you could be as children as young as 3 can get this vaccine. Whereas Moderna, you have to be 18. Moderna have to be 18 and up, and Pfizer have to be, I think, 16 or 17 and up. All this medication, and if you're breastfeeding and if you're lactating, of course you have to consult with your pediatrician, with your OBGYN, because it crosses the blood-brain barrier. But if it is that safe, and Cambodia is accepting it, why is Hun Sen backing out? He's under the pretext that he's 65. That's not true. I did not see any age limit. Did you see, Sita or Sorina? Did you see any age limit? I didn't see it.
Yeah, on the Sinopharm, on the Sinopharm, the report from ABC News said that it's effective only for people aged between 18 and 59.
Yeah.
And Hun Sen is 68. So the last report that, I'm sorry, go ahead.
So it said effective. It didn't say that you cannot take it.
Right.
If you are the leader of a country, you want to demonstrate good faith to your people, wouldn't you take it? It didn't say you will have allergic reaction and die. It says not effective. There's a difference.
It didn't even say not effective. It just said only people with the age between those range that that show effectiveness. But I thought he said that he reported to news that he would be the first person to line up to get the vaccine. I thought
that it was
that.
True. I saw the news. I saw
that.
Let me recap on that. First, let me say what what's going on. So first he asked, I think in October, he asked his friend Chinese to donate the vaccine. That's first. Second, he came out on television for 4 hours saying he is actually thanking the Cambodian citizen for donating money for the vaccine. So he was able to raise $57 million to purchase the vaccine. And on that same speech, he also said that he will only purchase vaccine if the WHO approve, based on the approved list. So that was
Exactly.
in December. And then he came out, he said to show good faith of the vaccine, he will be the first one to take the vaccine. And then he's like, no, that wouldn't be right. So he said after the healthcare worker, so he said the healthcare worker should take the vaccine. And so now healthcare worker going to be first. And then he came and he changed his mind and he said, no, he's going to be the first one. And then on Sunday, I believe on Saturday, he came out and he said, oh, Sinopharm, contact them and say the vaccine prohibit for people under the age of 18 and over 59. So he is 68, so he cannot take the vaccine. So this was on Saturday. And then on Sunday, he accepted the vaccine from China, and that was the end of the story. Now for his responsibility of taking the vaccine. From what I just told you about this timeline, what kind of leadership is that? Can you, flip-flop like that? Can you, if you ever take leadership class, what kind of leadership is that?
Oh, destructive leadership. You cannot trust a man like that. He's speaking from both sides of his mouth. First, December 15th, he said, nope, we're not going to take any vaccine from anyone except by the WHO. And then he's accepted from Sinopharm. He said he'll take it. He said, no, I'm not taking it. That's very, very unpredictable. Not a good leader. I wouldn't want him as my leader.
How about you, Sarina? You always talked about leadership or who you want to be. Is that somebody you want to be your leadership in? Like basically this 9 days, I will take it. No, I will not take it. I will take it. Now I will not take it. Now he will not take it today. So how do you feel about that?
Definitely, I would not want him to be my leader. His flip-flopping, every decision that he makes is not somebody that you would want to, as a leader to trust. There's no trust. There's no conviction in him. Whatever he says, it's like he changing. What's the word that they? It's like he is changing his underwears every day. So it's it's not a leader that you really want to lead you to any kind of battle or any kind of an epidemic like this.
Yeah. Now, Sita, now that you know that as of yesterday, he's not taking it because, based on the vaccine, he is actually over the age limit. So how do you feel about that now?
Not trustworthy. That's the word that comes to my mind. And, he's making his the people who follow him confused. He's confusing them. He's confusing himself. He's confusing the whole country. But regardless, he's getting it for free. So he's going to order this and that to get it. And he's the one who decides for himself not to get it. So that we already know he's, that kind of flip-flop leadership. That's his style of leadership for a long time. We've seen many different issues regarding, the flip-flop leadership. Like many years ago, there's a little bit off subject, but that he said if he cannot stop from deforestation. He'll cut his head off and all that stuff. His head's still on his shoulder, and many lands in Cambodia being deforested every day. So, we know how what his leadership style is, and but my concern is for the people. How is his people going to decide? Well, maybe many of them cannot decide for himself. Maybe he ordered them to take it and all that stuff. Who know? We don't know. Days ahead we'll see. So.
Actually, I heard he said that if you don't get the vaccine, it might affect your job, right? Like you apply for a certain job and you might not get it. So it's a condition, and that is so ludicrous because here we have the will to reject the vaccine and still keep our job.
We're talking about a dictatorship here. We're not talking about any kind of democracy. It's the rule. It's only one man rule over there that Cambodian people are following him.
Yes, yep. I have not heard it's an option yet. I heard him say out his mouth, my 3 sons and my 2 son-in-law going to volunteer, the so-and-so from the province, the leadership from a province gonna come and take this, need to come and take this. And I believe he's also asking for the health ministry. Gosh, I wish I remember her name, Wan D. The lady that always come on TV talking about the COVID-19, I believe she said he asked her if she within that age range, and she said she within that age range, then you should. Then he said you should take it, and she said she will be the first woman to get the vaccine. So I don't think it's a volunteer. It's people that need to show up. But we'll see. I haven't seen anything on the news, but hopefully they at all those 4 hospitals and see who show up to take the vaccine. I don't think it's volunteer. It's not by choice. It's by whoever their leader they tell them to do it.
It's voluntold.
Voluntold. That's a correct word.
That's a good one. I want to add. I think Hun Sen probably feel obligated to receive the donation from China for whatever reason, political reason. We all know that. And with that gift, he somehow have to enforce it. And, and who's better to enforce it to the people who he have control of. So, yeah, that's a sad part of the political situation in Cambodia.
I read it. There's a term about that was it political policy or political donations, where China donate the vaccine to Cambodia or to the poor country, so that way country like Cambodia will support China regarding about the conflicts in the ocean, the Asia Sea. So that's also a topic as well that people are talking about. So that's what we are going to pay attention of. This is even though we always said that the vaccine is reasonable price, but Cambodia received it for free, and we don't know when the rest is going to show up. But as of now, we received 600,000 doses for the people that require. I guess that's the word, require to take.
Mm-hmm. Yes, the word that I think coming to my mind is geopolitical. Geopolitical. The reason, like you mentioned, Linda, Hun Sen obligated to receive that vaccine to receive that vaccine, and he also back up China, claim over the China Sea. You mentioned that, so it's all political. We know that, and because of Hun Sen government backing up China, those two things, they give the gift of the vaccine, and and then when his best friend, his boss, which is the Chinese government, giving you something, you obligated to get it, and then obligated to get it, and then you obligated to utilize it. So he's gonna be making his own people be the guinea pig. Well, hopefully, it's not what we are thinking of, but hopefully it's for the better. But we'll just have to see.
Thank you. And also, but probably it's going to be off topic a little bit. Since CNRP is no longer able to participate in the government, not government, in the regime right now. So basically, the international community is hounding on Hun Sen, and that's also the reason he turned to China, because the EU is cutting EBA by 20%. So there's 20% of money that's for Cambodian people that being cut, and as well, and China is like open arm to him, giving him everything. And I believe Mrs. Pauline can actually explain why is it that Hun Sen is turning toward China instead of turning into toward like America or European Union.
Okay, so because that is his big brother. Like you were gonna say our friend, but not our friend.
Our friend. Not our friend, his friend.
Yeah. So China is like a big brother to Hun Sen. It's like okay. So so the West is like sanctioning you for EBA because you're not following. You're abusing human rights. You're violating human rights, and you are preventing the opposition, the largest opposition, to participate in the election, and you incarcerate, you harass and incarcerate people who are standing up for free speech. Although in your constitution you say please do it, but then you say, oh, anyone opposing me, I'm gonna just hush, and international community isn't standing for that, because we want freedom and democracy in our country. So, and even though it's the EBA has been cut by 20%, turning to China is giving everything, maybe Hun Sen wants, but not Cambodian people. Look at how, if you look at the atrocity and the poverty level, whatever that China gives to Cambodia, has it ever reached our people? No, it stays on the top. Whatever level, the strata on the Hun Sen level, it stays there. It doesn't come down. So it's very unfair, and that's why we're working so hard. The CNRP, like you, and all of us, we're working tirelessly, and we donate because for the sake of our people, for the sake of democracy, and democracy deserves to be in Cambodia. Cambodian people deserve democracy.
Thank you. I mean,
to add, if I may, Linda.
Go ahead.
To add to Pauline, not only China being donate to Cambodia, and those donation, financial donation not getting to the people, but many other Western country community, world community also donate. Like last show that I came on in April of last year, America donate, I think it was 3.6 or something like that $1 million to Hun Sen government to fight in regard to COVID-19. But we did not hear anything about how, those money being distributed to people, prevention or whatever, So lots of money come from everywhere, donation come from everywhere, but we know for sure because it doesn't get to the people, because the people are being poor, being neglected, and we, just like Pauline said, it stay up, at the top rank only, and it's not getting to the people. So, yeah.
It's never trickle down to the people. It always go into one regime, one family, into their pockets. The rich get richer, the poor get poorer. We, with all the aids from all over the international communities, Cambodians should be a little bit prosperous, that we, the people there, should be able to, be able to economically be able to work and support themselves. If the government use the aids what it is used for, but it's never been that way. It's always go into their own pockets. It's never trickled down to the people that who really need it the most.
Bong Kam Hun brought up a subject of the USA. Let me remind our audience. Last week, Hun Sen came out and he said that he is not able to accept Pfizer vaccine from the US because they don't have the capability to store the vaccine. So instead, he's asking for monetary donations. So so now when you're talking about donations, I just wanted to remind you that we have the money to buy. People donate $57 million to him, and he, I believe, beginning of last year, there's a certain amount of gold that he reserved to take care of the Cambodian people. And at the same time, last week, you know what? They don't have capability to accept vaccine from the US, especially Pfizer. So monetary donations is acceptable from, and like you all ladies said, the money never trickle down to the people, and that is the example of how the regime work. They accept money from all over the country, but they're not able to, and the people that benefit the most is their family and their regime, and not the poor people of Cambodia.
Yeah, true.
So with what's so is that so Sinopharm, they can accept that from China and they are capable to store it. What's the difference from storing Pfizer or Moderna? What's the difference? It's storing the same, that they don't have the capability. So in return, so they want the monetary instead of the vaccine. So they don't want to help the people in Cambodia. They just want the money to put in their pockets for their own use and not for the people. In layman's terms, that is the truth.
Correct. Yes. And talking about the option, Cambodian people have options regarding vaccine. It's just the leadership will not provide them with options. So now the only options that the people have is not to take the vaccine, and that I'm not sure is that something that they're able to do or not. I'm not sure because it's a dictatorship. So you say no, there's something going to be happening to you. So that's the I believe, I forgot what that means. Pauline said voluntold.
Voluntold, yeah.
Voluntold.
Yeah, the difference between the Pfizer is have to store minus 70 degree, minus 70 degree, and where the Sinopharm can be refrigerated, regular refrigerator. That's a different. Well, okay, say if that's his excuse, we don't in Cambodia don't have the capability of storing negative 70 degree, but Moderna, AstraZeneca, they good in refrigerator too. So they can store in refrigerator for a week, if I remember it correctly, and up to like 0 degree or something like that. So it's not. Why didn't he ask for the other option? Huh? See, that's
no. The flip flop is in December he said whoever the WHO approved, that's what he's gonna buy. So the WHO approved Pfizer. So now he's coming back. Oh, we're not capable. It's like if the leadership, if you say we're gonna buy this, you should have all the information in front of you. Like Sorina, she's the purchasing. She know when she's gonna get something. She has all the information. Like, okay, where are we gonna store this? How many are we gonna get? And where's our budget for this? That's the information that leadership should have in front of him, or leadership that should have wanting to know what is it that I'm signing my people for. But none of that. He didn't do any of that. And until like recently, he said, no, Cambodia is not capable of storing it.
You know, reading between the lines, if I may, all these are on the surface, but what's underneath? Reading between the lines. Okay, he said, okay, like Sita said, okay, so Pfizer require minus 70 Celsius, and Moderna, you know, like require minus 20. But what about AstraZeneca? That's required just a regular refrigeration and all that. But what it is, what the deeper issue is that he probably doesn't want anything from the West, from the free world, from the world that is honoring democracy. He likes something that is like communist, controlling, appeasing. So if I accept something like communist from, you know, things from China, they'll look at me more favorably. If I buy AstraZeneca, because His Excellency Sam Rainsy had talked about this too. That's, you know, being produced at Oxford University in the UK. You know, if he can't, he said, okay, fine, the capability of Moderna or Pfizer, fine. What about AstraZeneca? Why not that? Why go to China?
And less
Right?
effective. Chinese
less
vaccine,
effective,
less effective. Yeah.
Less effective and still in clinical trial. With AstraZeneca, you know, it's accepted already and been used.
So what's like? Let's spill it. What's the secret? What's the secret he trying to hide?
Okay. Well, the secret I was thinking is that I wonder what China, because we read, you know, I mean, on the Sinopharm, there is no prohibition. Like he said, he's prohibited from getting the vaccine because he's 68. It just says that not effective. It doesn't even say that you're not supposed to be getting it. So if he says that, I wonder what China will say here. He's bad mouthing their pharmaceutical company, you know. I want to hear what China has to say about this. You know, like if I give you a gift, you can't even, if you accept it, if you don't like it, you just keep it. You don't go bad mouth it, right? And so he's bad mouthing it now. He said, oh, no, it's not fair. I can't take it. And so his people say, well, we can't take it, you know. So isn't that like bad mouthing? So I wonder if it is, because, you know, the research hasn't said that. It doesn't say prohibition. And if he said China had called him, he's not supposed to be getting it. So China is sharing secret to Hun Sen that it's not being shared, you know, with the clinical trial. That's a secret. So if it is true, then they are very unethical and borderline on illegal.
And another thing I also want to mention, if I may, this virus affects the elderly the most. Now, for the Sinopharm from China, you know, they said effective for 18 years old to 59. Those age range are not the most who being affected by the coronavirus. The 60 and older who's being affected, right, Pauline? You've seen at the hospital those age range are not as many as the older people, right? And
the older and the younger one, the older and the younger, and those are the ages, like the healthy one, you know, like 18 and up, you know, they're still like in the workforce. Yeah, that is very sad.
Yeah, and so that's another question that I have too. That why would the vaccine being promoted or established for that age range when it's the older people who's being affected the more? So I don't know. It just raised a lot of questions for me about the vaccine.
You know, from a scientific, someone who loves research, I do, and it's like, okay, do you want to get rid of the older people because they're no longer productive? You know, is that what it is? I mean, we could read between the lines and go there. You know, we don't want to go there because over here, my neighbor, she's 85, she got it. You know, she got it, but of course, Pfizer and Moderna, it's different. So yeah, protecting our elder, whatever virus that hit, whatever epidemic, it's usually the younger and the oldest. The middle one, we're, you know, having still our immune system intact.
Yes, that is the I believe that many people questions what is the point of making a vaccine, as when you could not help the people who sick the most, and the people that got sick the most from that, basically the people that got sick and actually land in the hospital the most is the elderly, and 56, 58 people that age 58, that's still young.
Yeah.
They should be able to fight the virus themselves at home, and it's the people that older that have medical issue, that's the people that help the most. Why the day and when vaccine that's not going to the people that need it the most?
Yeah, true.
Yep, that's the question. It's only raised more question, and why Hun Sen want that, and when there's a lot of questioning regarding the vaccine for his people, that's another question too. Well, that's why we are here to try to figure it out, but I don't see an answer to it.
Yeah.
Personally, for
We are
me,
here to
I think the secret might be Hun Sen and China are experiencing a different version of vaccine on our people without letting them know the effectiveness of, because, you know, it's an experimentation. I read an article recently that they are letting the World Health Organization in and trying to get this approved through the WHO, but with Cambodia, is Hun Sen letting China use our people as the guinea pig?
Yeah.
What different version are they providing this to our people versus different countries like Turkey, Arab countries, and you know, Indonesia, with the effectiveness that they have? So it could be different variation of Sinopharm that they are providing to our people in Cambodia. We don't know that.
Yeah, it's a very good possibility, you know, just like fake masks, right? Yeah.
Yes.
correct.
So I just recently did this. So with Pfizer, it's actually you can store at 36 degrees to 46. So that's a refrigerator temperature. So what is his excuse? You can get a refrigerator and just store that regularly. So that's the Pfizer. That is 95% effective. With Moderna, I could understand it's 94.1% effective. It's a negative 13 to 5 degrees that you need to store the vaccine. But with Pfizer being the leading one and it's more effective, it's a refrigerator temperature that a lot of people have to refrigerate it, so that he does not need any kind of really special, you know, a negative 70 or anything like that. It's so he
No,
said
I think
Linda,
Negative.
yeah, it's
It is
negative.
it is negative 70 Celsius.
Yeah,
It,
the refrigerator, I think you can store up for 2 days, 24, 48
5
hours,
days.
something like that.
up
Yeah.
to 120 hours, 5 days. That
Oh,
you can,
okay.
it's refrigerated between 2 degrees Celsius and 8 degrees. So 2 degrees, it's 36 Fahrenheit and 46 Fahrenheit for up to 120 hours or up to 5 days. That's Pfizer. So what is his excuse? There shouldn't be no excuse in getting the Pfizer for our people. Yeah. So if you
but if you calculate, if we don't have the minus if they don't have the minus 70-degree storage, the travel of, on the air, by the time they administer, it take longer than a week. So I can see the excuse on that.
Well,
But
I
why?
could see the excuse on that. Yeah.
But
not
why
like-
why didn't he ask for the other option instead of getting the Chinese option only? That's my question. Yeah.
Because
let
the only
me
thing I can think of is we are going to be the guinea pigs of
We
China. We are always have been, and we will always be. We still have Hun Sen as a leader, and he's actually more not a leader. He's more of a dictator, telling everybody else what to do versus what leaders, have there, so people follow them for the better of the good versus what a dictator is, like what Hun Sen is. He's dictating for the people. This is what you need to do. There's no objection. You must follow my rule or no rule.
Yeah.
Yes. The going back to the conversation of storage, that just clearly show how incapable Cambodia and how incapable the leadership is. He been in power for over 40 years. You've been in power for 40 years and you couldn't even get a refrigerator to store a vaccine. That's how backward it is. That's how, when they're talking about development of Cambodia, it's been 40 years and we are talking about refrigerator. So that's how backward and how ignorant and how it should not be trusted. That's one answer. Another answer is it's undeveloped. He is undeveloped. Cambodia, it's been 40 years, over 40 years after Khmer regime. The questions or the answer of the refrigerator should not even come up. If that's what it takes to get a refrigerator for Cambodian to have a proper vaccine, a vaccine that is over 90%, then it should be an answer to get a refrigerator. And it should not be any questions, should not be like, oh, we couldn't do this, we couldn't do that, because as a leader, you're supposed to provide a solutions for your people.
Yes.
Definitely.
True.
Yeah, definitely. With all the money. Yeah, with all the money that's available, he should be able to. But the bottom line, we all know that he just doesn't want the Western community, the Western world community, America, Europe community, anything to do with us. He want to do everything with China, his big brother, like Pauline said. So. That's just an excuse for that. Yeah. So yeah,
he wouldn't want to accept any products, but he will accept monetary. Keep in mind that.
Yeah,
he
and
will
that
gladly open arms with that.
Yeah,
but with that product, he wouldn't want to accept it. It's not used for his own benefit. It's going to be used for the people, so he doesn't want to accept it.
Exactly. Well, thank you for tonight, ladies. That's a really good conversation. Before I close the show, can I have each of you say a couple words of anything? How about start with Pauline? You have any last word for the Cambodian people or for the American people or for Khmer all over the world?
So thank you for having me on the show. And I just wanted to say, because, here in America, the Pfizer and Moderna, I don't know, most of the people that it's getting the injection are, frontline right now. And I also wanted to say that, those who are lactating, breastfeeding and pregnancy, it is Dr. Catherine and Dr. Young from the University of Texas, and who also worked for the CDC. And they had this show from the Journal of American Medicine, and they said it's safe. It is safe. Of course, you have to talk with your provider. Safe to get it, because I know, Linda, you are childbearing age. Something like to know, and even lactating too. And also, even though that you are getting the injection, the vaccine, just like Sita and I, always remember to practice a good hygiene, like wearing a mask still, 6 feet distant, washing hands, just like the Buddha said, before enlightenment, chop wood, carry water. After enlightenment, chop wood and carry water. Never forget, don't let your guard down. Thank you.
Thank you. Netball Sorina, you want to say the last word?
So thank you for having me on the show, and it was great speaking with all the ladies tonight. So my question is, would you want to be vaccinated by a vaccine that the WHO have not approved? Personally, I would not. So I would tell the Cambodian people, be careful of the risks involved, especially with China vaccine. We may be the guinea pig for China. So get your ducks in a row, ask questions, do your research before you get this vaccine. Sinopharm from China. Thank you.
Thank you, Bong. How about Bong Sita?
I just want to thank you also inviting me, and thank you all the other guests having fun tonight. But but I want to pass on the message to Cambodian community living overseas. If you have relatives in Cambodia who are being ordered to take the vaccine, give them some advice, do some research, just like everybody else said, do some research and give them the right information. And then, if they can avoid taking those vaccines, I'm not saying they should be avoiding, but do the research, do your due diligence before you take the vaccine from China. So, just that, if you can do that, because like everybody said, Cambodian people might be the guinea pig for Chinese, trial right now, the vaccine trial. So we don't know. So just be careful, be precaution. So thank you.
Thank you. Before I let all three of you go, Sunday is Valentine, so I want to wish you all three ladies a happy Valentine. I just want to remind you that.
Working.
It's going to be
Mr. Ricky has better step up
to the plate.
Happy early Valentine's to all the three ladies.
Thank you.
Yeah,
we are going to be
for everybody.
It's going to be frigid cold, minus 2 degrees in Columbus, Ohio.
Oh my
God! You
God.
can stay home.
So I'm staying in.
You can store the vaccine outside your front yard.
Yeah, exactly.
Send it over here to Columbus, Ohio.
Yes. Okay.
Well,
thank you
so much, all three ladies. I really enjoyed. Thank you so much for being here today. And yes, thank you
for having this discussion.
Thank you. Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you for joining our show today. It was a great conversation on COVID-19 vaccine, especially a conversation about Cambodia. As we're speaking right now, the populations of Cambodia is probably heading to the 4 hospital that I mentioned earlier for the vaccine. Based from our conversations, there's no data, there's not enough data to even support the vaccine. So please be careful and please study and read read enough so that way you know what vaccine you're taking today. As always, thank you for joining our show. This is Khmer Youth Voices for Justice. It is part of the CNRP America TV show. Thank you and Chum Rip Lia.
Between 1975 and 1979, the green rice fields of Cambodia became the killing fields of Cambodia. over 2 million lives were lost, including the lives of my own parents and many of my relatives. The Khmer Rouge wanted a society that is equal according to them. We still live and we are haunted with the legacy of the Khmer Rouge, which is the culture of impunity that continues to exist in Cambodia today. It is for this reason that we have started a campaign, worldwide campaign, a campaign to end impunity in Cambodia by seeking justice for cases, for the executions, for the killings that are organized, that are backed by the state. Among those cases of state-backed killings are the killings of Chivichir, a very famous trade union leader, Bisep Pilaka, a ballet dancer, of Kemley, an independent analyst, of Chutvuti, a well-known environmentalist, of Venerable Sun Bunthun, who was advocating for the monks to have the right to vote, including workers who demanded fair wages. The campaign will also advocate for governments that are members of the United Nations to put pressure on the government of Cambodia to conduct independent investigations by using universal tools such as the UN Protocol for Independent Investigation. The campaign will also advocate for governments that believe and want to protect universal human rights to impose sanctions on the leaders of the government of Cambodia who are implicated in these state-backed extrajudicial killings. We ask you to be with us, to support us, to be part of a campaign to end the culture of impunity in Cambodia and to find justice for those who have been waiting for justice for their loved ones killed by the state. There cannot be real peace unless there is justice. There cannot be justice unless there is independent investigation. And then to take those cases to an independent justice system. Join us by signing on this petition. Thank you.
យើងរួមគ្នាបញ្ចប់នីតិរដ្ឋភាពដើម្បីយុត្តិធម៌នៅកម្ពុជា